It's your boy D from DNC Digital, back with another Instagram Live. Hope everybody's doing good. Yesterday was an interesting one because, excuse me, we were supposed to have Jasmine Allure on, and we had to postpone her. She's going to be later on this week. Manny Rinkowski joined in and had a lot of things to say. But I digress. Let's move on. Tonight, we have Amber Rodriguez, the Elevate Pro Champion, my man Ryan. Hope all is well, buddy. Coughing up a storm for some reason. Miranda Gordy, my new buddy. Hope all is well. This lighting is awesome. All right, so we will be talking to Amber Rodriguez, Elevate Pro Champion, going one-on-one against Genocide this Friday at Mission Pro Wrestling. Run it back, December 11th, Buda, Texas. Pinball's Kingdom. Streaming live on the Title Match Network. Now officially sold out. I love it. Man. Miss Rodriguez, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. I made it, finally.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. Totally okay. You know, we were scheduled for later last week, and then we just had to postpone, but it's fine because we got you here, and you look great. How are you preparing for this Friday against Genocide?
You know, just chilling, having my raw oysters and mimosas every morning.
Raw oysters?
Yeah.
Where do you get these guys?
Living the fancy life.
Very
all
fancy.
around here. Yeah, I'm bougie. But yeah, I'm on the Gulf Coast, so they're everywhere.
Beautiful. I do want to talk about your origins from the Bronx, New York. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's a place that's very close to my heart. I wasn't born there, but spent a great amount of my life there. So I had claimed it the first time around I was wrestling. And now I live in Mobile, Alabama, so I claim that.
Definite contrast from the Bronx.
Yeah,
you do not know, I'm telling you, I was born and raised in Elizabeth, New Jersey, so I know a little bit about the Bronx. Last year I went to visit my family. We went to Del Toro in Brooklyn, and right after we were done, we went to Joe's Pizzeria in Brooklyn, which was a life-changing slice of pizza. And I know my pizza because I grew up going to the corner store and paying $1.25 for a Coke and a slice. You can't do that out here in Texas, and it's upsetting.
No.
But where would you go for your slice of pizza back home?
I have to stay in the same place, though. I know all about it.
Tell everybody,
tell $1.25.
What Joe's did for you.
It changed my life. It changed my life.
No, it's such a good slice of pizza. And
you can't go back. It's like having Junior's. Like once you have Junior's cheesecake, like no other cheesecake is good enough.
People don't know about Junior's if you don't live over there. Let's talk about that. You're saying it's near and dear to your heart. Talk about the Bronx and what that meant to you and how that maybe formulated part of your personality over the years.
I mean, you know, it really played a role with my character at the time, just playing that. Well, not even so much playing because I really am kind of ratchet. So, so it wasn't even so much a character. It was really just kind of like being myself, but like more elevated, if that makes sense. So, yeah, you know, just being that gangsta Afro-Latina, you know, from the streets. And now, because I'm all about evolving who you are, right? So now I, you know, call myself the evil queen. I like to say that, you know, I've grown up, you know, but that street chick will still come out if need be. She may come out on Friday. So
you can take the girl out the Bronx, but you can't take the Bronx out the girl, as they say.
Exactly.
You were part of a cool looking group called Black Wall Street back then. Can you tell me the dynamic between there? And was it a different type of you know, inside or out, you know, when you're thinking about the mentality of your career, was it different when you're in a group, you know, as opposed to when you're a singles competitor?
No, not if you surround yourself with like-minded people. I mean, even now I am in a stable called the Queendom. Shout out to my girls Danny B and Promise Braxton. It's about being in that group with like-minded people, and you know, you all have the same goals, you all have the same uh, dreams, and you all have that mentality of we're gonna push each other to get to where we need to be. Like we're all gonna get there, we're all gonna make it. You know, we're gonna help each other along the way. As far as Black Wall Street goes, I mean, you know, we're disbanded now, but my brother Chuck Lennox, like, and my brother, he goes by Solo, but I call him Marshall. His name's Marshall.
Okay.
Love those guys. Still talk to, you know, even Napalm and Marshall to this day, and you know, of course, me and Chuck talk all the time. I mean, that's my brother, and it was cool. I mean, getting to like how many people can say like, you know, your siblings and you wrestle together, you know, so it
Definitely
was
outside
cool.
of the living room into the wrestling ring.
Like
I remember
professionally,
messing
exactly.
up. I remember messing up my mom's armrest on the couch because I always did the Macho Man diving elbow onto my
In
brother.
there.
Yeah, definitely. I've learned that you have. I'm very interested in this because I remember I was a kid watching Survivor Series 1998, and there was a mystery opponent advertised for Mankind in the Deadly Games tournament. And so this man comes out there and he goes, the man, the myth, the legend, Dwayne Gill. And then Dwayne Gill comes out and he was a guy in some trunks and a t-shirt. And then he moved on to become Gilbert, which is one of the best wrestling characters in history. Which is a divisive thing to say, but everybody knows that wrestling can be silly, and there's an entertainment aspect about it. Can you tell me what Dwayne Gill means to you?
He gave me my start. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna say there wouldn't be an Amber Rodriguez, but I'm sure it would have taken a lot longer for me to get started without having Gilbert's Pro Wrestling Academy. I mean, I started there when I was 15, 16, around that time, you know, so it meant a lot for me to be able to train at not just any wrestling school, but like a school that has those credentials, you know what I mean, that has somebody, you know, who can really back it. And it's like when you say who your trainer is, you know, that should mean something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So him, and also the Holy Rollers, Earl and Rich, those are also like my wrestling dads. You know, they were very hands-on, the best trainers anybody could ask for. So yeah, it's still in my heart. So long live Gilberg's Pro Wrestling Academy.
Yes, love it. And the little tattoo that he had here, that was great.
Yeah.
What was one of the more jarring lessons that you had when you started pro wrestling? One that you probably didn't expect to be so difficult.
Hmm. That's a good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that. I think the physical part of it was a lot, you know, especially being a teenager. And I had like just started like my journey as far as like working out and changing my diet and my eating habits. I was a chunky teenager, so it was it was a lot because you know I knew like, hey, this is what I want to do, and I took it very serious. So you know I had started working out, I had changed my diet and everything. But then when I actually started wrestling school and like that physical aspect of it, like it's you can't compare it to anything, you know. Like even now, like I'm in the military and like my wrestling cardio and you know the drills, it's so much more intense than like PT, you know. So
Yeah,
you never get used to it.
I don't have any experience in the military, and I thank you for your service. That's something I read up on you. But I remember training for pro wrestling, and that was some of the toughest stuff that I've ever been through.
Yeah.
Definitely no joke. Uh, So I want to talk about a certain opponent that you had. You know, wrestling now has evolved to definitely accept everybody, and there's all shapes and sizes and colors and sexes in the ring. You actually had a few matches with Nyla Rose in late 2013, where you beat her for the MCW championship. Is that correct?
No, I think it was the Kobe Pro. Nyla has actually never gotten a chance to wrestle in MCW. But I mean, who knows what the future holds, right? But
Definitely.
yeah, so it wasn't just a few times. I've wrestled Nyla in several states for like, I want to say like 7 months straight. We were working each other like almost every weekend. We even lived together at one point.
Can you
It
tell me
got
about her drive and how, you know, even back then, I didn't even know she was wrestling that long.
mhm.
How persistent and tenacious she was to definitely make it in her situation that you kind of don't see a lot.
I mean, just looking at where she is now, first of all, I'm so proud of her. She's so deserving and so humble. You know, she hasn't changed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, but yeah, to answer your question, I mean, she literally is determination. Like she is what motivated me and inspired me to get back in the ring when I had took my break. You know, because she saw or literally witnessed so much potential that I had, and she just kind of reminded me of who I am. You know what I mean? So I can't thank her enough for that. But yeah, I mean, when you're talking about somebody who's driven, she's driven.
Really, really cool to see her achieve something in the face of, you know, and I don't want to say that there weren't roadblocks against her because it seems like the company really, really like is behind her and is supporting her, and that's the best thing to see. It's just you see stuff online and you see a bunch of, you know, idiots putting the wrong stuff up. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Is her wife your gear maker? I saw that
Yes.
you got a few posts posting about your gear being made by Seems. I'm
Kel.
sorry. What was
Yeah,
that?
Kel from Seems Legit. Yeah.
Seems legit.
Um,
That's the one.
yeah, and it seems like SEAMS, so it's like a pun. But yeah. So
Yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
if anybody out there needs gear, definitely hit her up. It's top quality. I mean, it's funny because I've seen like when she first started like dabbling in it, and then now it's just remarkable. It's amazing. I've literally seen her make Nyla a leather um jacket, like so it's almost like a duster type jacket, like out of curtains. And you
Out
would
of
never
curtains.
know. You would never know it came from curtains. You know, like she's so talented. But yeah, I have three pieces from her. I actually have another one on the way. Because I don't know, bodysuits have gotten like trendy now. So I'm like, man, I gotta switch it up. So there's something else
Definitely.
coming on now because I'm always trying to stand out. But yeah, yeah. So hit up Kel the Celt on Instagram.
Uh, you know, you talk about standing out, and I want to stay on the topic of your gear for just a little bit. There
Mhm.
is a significance to the colors that you wear, as
Yes.
far as your character and royalty. Can you elaborate on that and what exactly it means?
Yeah. So it's funny you mentioned that because I had said something to somebody like not necessarily like I don't know getting an attitude or anything, but just pointing it out because everybody says like, oh, purple and gold, those are Egyptian colors. Like there's more to it than that. Like gold representing wealth, purple representing royalty. And I call myself a queen. I am an evil queen. So those colors fit. That standard, that moniker. Also, I have another set with the same pattern and design with the Puerto Rican flag colors and that style. Wepa. And then I have the transgender pride colors, the pink, white, and blue set that I have. So yeah, I do like. I don't know. I think I like for things to have detail. I'm very detail oriented.
That sounds good. A cool match that you had was against somebody who I feel sometimes may be an unsung hero as far as in terms commercially, because we have this evolution going on right now being led by Sasha Banks and Charlotte and all the other talented women. You go back and you think of Lita and Trish Stratus leading the charge when women's wrestling was just starting to change. I've gotten to know Jazz, who is also just a badass. But one of the women who I feel needs to get more credit than she gets is Micki James, because she was right there in the trenches having these amazing matches. And then it moved on to what I call the model era. There's maybe less intricate matches. But, that aside, you had a match with Micki James. Can you tell me what it was like? And, to add to that question, I'm wondering if you ever kind of snap out of it. And I know you're trying to tell a story. I know you're playing a character, but you've got to be in there, like holding her in a headlock and just like, this is
like, oh my God, it's her. Yeah. Yeah. So I've had several matches with her. I've had the privilege of doing a couple of tours with MCW with her. I've had what I thought was my last match with her.
Your last match, yeah.
So, and that was just the icing on the cake, but it's crazy when I think about it, because like the first match we had together, and then each match got better and better and better and better. I, as a performer, got better from working with her. Like I cannot give her enough credit. I would not be the performer I am today if it weren't for Micki James. Just all the lessons that she gave me, I find myself still referring back to this day. So yeah, she's definitely an unsung hero, and she's not given enough credit. Her name isn't brought up enough because she's a GOAT. It's like, yeah, Trish and Lita, who I've also had the honor of sharing a ring with, Lita.
Yes.
It's like they brought it here, then Micki took it here, you know what I mean? And even through those, like, I think the model era, you called it, she was still there keeping things afloat, you know what I mean? So, like, like you said too, she's not given enough credit. Just everything about her, like, she lives and breathes this business. And one thing that she says that I hold dear to my heart is leave this business better than when you found it. So, shout out to Micki.
That's definitely a real cool thing to say. And this year there have been a lot of stories and a lot of things that have happened where we need to make sure the business gets better. There have been some really bad stories about some idiotic people, just stories that you don't want to hear as a wrestling fan and as a human being too. You mentioned that you have a daughter. I also have an 11-year-old daughter, and I don't want to imagine anything happening to her, because I would end up in jail, and I no problem saying that. But I'm trying to word this question and be as sensitive as possible. You decided to leave the business, and you had your own decisions. So earlier this year, you decided to finally come back because of this situation that you didn't want to take away your love of this business.
Yeah.
I'll give you the floor, and you can say whatever you like about the situation. I don't know what to ask. I know I did check on you to make sure it's okay to talk about this because it's such a sensitive subject, but the floor is yours.
It is a sensitive subject, but I feel like if my story could inspire somebody else, or, just give somebody some type of hope or something, then, that's enough for me. You know what I mean? Where do I start? So November 2015 was when I decided I was done. I'm not coming back. A lot of people, I told a lot of people, like, I joined the military, which I did, but it was more to it, that at the time I didn't want to open up about, because at that time it seemed like the wrong people would get canceled,
Okay.
And that's why I say, like, cancel culture exists everywhere except professional wrestling. So we have cancel culture, but the wrong people get canceled. You know, a
Right.
woman speaks up and says that, you know, hey, this guy is a scumbag, don't book him, I was taken advantage of, blah blah blah, and you don't see or hear from that girl again. Next thing you know, she's like not wrestling anymore, and that dude's still getting booked all over the place. So seeing that so many times, it's like, man, I'm not going to say anything about this, you know, um, because I was assaulted and harassed, and you know, it finally got to a point where I wasn't happy anymore. You know, it made me resent wrestling, you know, um, especially because I had to continue to work around that person. And it's like I was empty. It was just very draining, and it was just like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't have to do this. Like, I'm done. You know what I mean? And it was so depressing because this is all I ever wanted to do. I never wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer. You know, I'd always wanted to do this. And so it was just like, it was a harsh reality that I had to face. And it took me a really long time and a lot of therapy, you know, to process and to deal with. Um, you know, when I made the decision to walk away, it was very bitter, you know, and I didn't know how to feel. I blamed myself. I blamed some of my peers. I was mad at the world, you know. Um, I joined the military, and then I like kind of say it took me a while to kind of find myself, you know. Um, but I did find myself, if that makes sense, you know. It was like it
Right.
was a change of pace, it was a change of environment, just a change of course in general. Um, you know, I ended up meeting my at the time husband and having my baby. And you know, having a daughter, it's something different. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something different. And, you know, and then especially for me as a woman, it's like I have to be an example to this girl. I have to give her what my mother never gave me, you know? Um, and so I'm trying to make a long story short. Um, that was like my first spark and inspiration. Like, man, like I really want to do this. I really want to get back to doing this. And now that I have a daughter, I want to show her, like, as traumatic as this was, I was able to come back from it. I was able to rebuild and be stronger and, you know, be that advocate. And, you know, I was able to not let any of them take away what's mine and what I've always wanted to do. Um, so then, yeah, it still took me some years. I mean, I trained here and there, but it was a lot to finally like overcome, you know, say, okay, I'm going to do this. You know, it was a big jump for me. I did get help. I sought therapy. I'm still in therapy. I recommend that to everyone.
Yes, I want to second that. Anybody who goes through anything, it's not a bad thing. Everybody needs therapy. I don't care
Yes.
who you are. I dare somebody to show me that they have a perfect brain and perfect feelings. Everybody needs therapy. And you know, going to that, how important is it to have a support system around you to be able to talk about this stuff? Because, you know, I myself kept stuff bottled up for 20 years.
Yeah.
So how important is it to make sure your feelings are vocalized?
Nobody is above getting help. I want to say that. Like, nobody is beyond help, you know. Um, to those out there who spoke out, you're not broken. I know you feel broken. I felt broken, but you're not broken. And you can get the help that you deserve. You know, you deserve to unpack all this heavy, toxic weight. You
Hmm.
deserve to unpack that and live your life as you should. You know, you deserve that. You deserve love. You deserve all these things. So it's very important, you know, and I know there are people out there who don't have the best support system, or they may have, you know, people around them who are enablers or, you know, what have you. That's why therapy is so important, because you need that kind of outside, unbiased person, you know, to maybe make you see these things that you may not have realized before. But yeah, to finish up my story and wrap up that part, so fast forward to 2019, I was actually deployed in California, where I started training at Big Time Wrestling. You know, it's like, man, I'm out here on deployment. There's a school nearby. Like, let me, you know, go train some more and, you know, see how I feel. And it was like riding a bike. Shout out to this guy named Ricardo, who had wrestled in Mexico for the last 20 years and kind of dusted me off. And yeah, he just really lit a fire in me and like inspired me. He's like, yeah, man, you can go back and you can do this and blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, I think I will. And that's when I found Elevate, because I ended up being stationed in Mobile, Alabama after that deployment. And the best school in this area is Elevate Pro. Love Brittany to death, love Ben to death. They're like my wrestling parents now. So.
You were saying that it was just a refreshing dynamic. Not only, you know, Brittany is such a boss woman, and I say that with all respect, because that woman is like, she's a late 80s Vince McMahon. She wants to just have her hands in everything, and she's great.
Stephanie.
Yes, very well said. You said it was just a refreshing dynamic, that you were a part of shows where the promoter probably didn't even see you and didn't have anything to say to you, and possibly, you know, probably you didn't work again. Can you tell me about Elevate Pro and what Brittany has done for you in your return to wrestling?
Oh man, I cannot thank that woman enough. You know, her and Ben for even taking a chance on me, because it's a lot to say, hey, I haven't wrestled in the past 4 years, but can I work your show? Like, you know, that's a lot. So I appreciate them so much for believing in me, you know, and motivating me and inspiring me and elevating me, no pun intended. You know, and I owe them a lot. I owe them so much. Especially Brittany. We travel together. I pick her brain a lot. She has such a great mind for this business, you know, and it's just amazing, like the things that she comes up with, you know, her ideas, and, you know, just she has so much to offer, and she's done so much, and she's nowhere near done.
No,
So,
and she's still writing her story. That woman is a student of the game. She has studied the greats. You ended up becoming Elevate Pro champion, which is really cool. And you're going to bring that belt, and I think my girlfriend wants to just take a picture with it, just because she sees. Let's talk about Mission Pro Wrestling. Thunder Rosa is leading the charge, and she says that it's very important to her that she has a safe environment for women where they can feel safe, appreciated, and, you know, get, you know, jobs more reoccurring, you know, no problem backstage. Can you tell me what Mission Pro Wrestling is doing for women today and what you feel they can accomplish in the future?
I mean, first of all, everything you just said, you know, like with there being a safe haven for women's wrestlers where we are respected and, you know, treated with such dignity, you know what I mean? And we're not just like, you know, thrown in there for the boys, or, you know what I mean? Or the whole bathroom break ordeal. Like that stuff is dead and gone, you know, and Mission is proving that, you know, and it's very empowering to work for someone like Thunder Rosa. And, you know, I fully support everything that she's doing and the vision that she has. It's empowering for women, you know, and then, you know, especially women of color, you know, it's wonderful, you know, to see her taking it like to such a high level, you know.
Just like you said, you're a woman of color who's gone through stuff, and people of color have also had a tough year. And I don't want to say it's been a tough year. I just feel like it's more publicized now. I'm not going to say that this is the toughest year in history, but
It's
I
been
want to
draining
reword
though.
that. Yeah, I want to reword that. It's just been a it's just been a shitty year, and I just feel like more cameras are out, more things are finally being seen and proven to people that feel like these things don't happen. Um, as a woman of color, I don't want to concentrate on the negative. I would like to know what kind of support have you gotten from your sisters in wrestling and your community as far as all these stories have come out this year.
Again, I just want to shout out Brittany and just how great she's been, how supportive and how much of an advocate she is, with constantly putting it out there that Elevate Pro is, you know, spearheading, the initiative that, we support our LGBTQ brothers and sisters and, that Black lives do matter, that it doesn't matter what you look like, what color you are, your sexual orientation, anything like that. Like, come here and perform, and you're loved here and you're appreciated here, you're respected here. So, yeah. And, I won't say 2020 has been, an awful year. I mean, it has, but at the same time, I feel like, you have to tear things down in order to build something new and beautiful. It has to get ugly before
Yeah,
it gets beautiful,
definitely.
So I feel like, yeah, it sucked a lot to happen, but I feel like there's hope for us yet. You know what I mean?
I'm going to go through the comments. Mistress Melanie, NYC. Amber, I'm so happy you're back wrestling again. I hope you and Vanity wrestle again. It was amazing in Texas, and I hope you can compete again. So happy you're back. Congrats.
I love Vanity.
Oh, Vanity is so dope. I love Vanity.
Yeah.
She's a fellow Jersey person just like me, and her energy crystals and everything. I love it. The vibe is cool.
Yeah.
Ryan Romano, huge supporter. Thank you for coming back to wrestling for you and your family, Miss Rodriguez.
Mm.
Um, who else is here? A shout out to Brittany Nicole. Hope to. Ryan Romano is he's from Louisiana. Says hope to see you live in person when the shows start up. Da, da,
Yeah.
da, da, da. And Mistress Melanie, I hope to see Amber and Vanity team on Mission Pro Wrestling.
Maybe we'll
You got to bring
scoot
the
over
East
in the
Coast stuff. You
queendom.
got to bring the East Coast stuff. Some people don't know about that over here.
Yeah, maybe we can make some room in the queendom. I don't know. I have to think about that.
Oh my God, that would be great. You mentioned Promise Braxton as your stablemate, and I interviewed her a few months ago, and she's just so dope. I love Promise. She
Yeah.
actually did an episode of my podcast where we did a tournament, and we did a tournament like of all horror movie titles. So it was like It versus Poltergeist, and like American
Well, I'm on
Werewolf
the
versus.
wrong show then. Where was I then? I love horror movies
I'll
and
send
I
you the
love
link to
the
that one so you
collection.
can watch it. I'll send you the link. She had a great time. You mentioned 2020 that we need to concentrate on the positive. That it has been, excuse me, it has been a challenging year. But if you didn't come out with something you didn't have going in, then it's a big waste of time. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry to say that, but I worked a lot on my business. I worked a lot on myself. I worked a lot on my mentality, the way I look at stuff, because I told myself I can't go back to just a regular job. Not after this. I need to go back to something that matters, something that can actually build my future. I need to look long term because it just changes your mentality. What were you doing? And first off, what was the show that you binge watched during the pandemic?
Season one of You couldn't really get into season two like that. It starts
Hmm.
too slow for me, but I plan to go back and check it out. What else? Bar Rescue for whatever reason.
Wow,
Um, Black
love that guy.
Lightning. Yeah, I love Black Lightning. What else have I binge watched? I always love to go back and rewatch the whole series of Once Upon a Time. Um, Regina
Oh, okay.
Mills. Yeah, Regina Mills or the Evil Queen. That's like
Yeah, yeah.
a huge inspiration for me. Um, what else? I also rewatched Star. I used to love that
Okay.
series. I loved it better than Empire, actually.
Wow.
Um,
Those are like fighting.
what? So, okay,
I mean,
Empire wasn't bad. I just liked Star better.
okay, that's fine. You okay. We'll
Yeah.
keep it. You're what about any books? Any books that you've dove into during the pandemic?
Okay, so I'm currently studying to be an esthetician. I'm an apprentice esthetician. So I've been reading a lot of books on like skincare and like nothing too interesting. I
What
mean, it's
is it? What is
interesting to
it?
me,
What is it?
but
What does an 11-year-old girl do for her skin? Now that I got you here, my daughter is
oh,
breaking
but
out up here and
at
little,
11,
at 11.
man, so she's probably exposed to a lot of like oils and
Mm.
her skin probably just collects all types of dirt and debris like throughout the day.
So is it
Um,
just regular washing of the face?
But it depends on the scrub that you get. I use St. Ives apricot scrub.
St.
It's
Ives.
a yeah, it's a good exfoliant. Exfoliate the skin and I would leave that on there for 5 to 10 minutes and then wash it off really good. And a good moisturizer. Nivea is a very good brand. Um, Stay tuned because I'm actually coming out with some skincare treats. So I
Oh,
will, yeah,
sweet.
you'll be the first to know when I get that going.
Got it.
Um,
I need a care package sent over.
yeah, for sure.
I
But
love a good facial. I love like
yeah,
doing the charcoal mask thing, the
yeah,
up here and the oh my God, I feel like a princess when my girlfriend does that. I feel great.
it's
It
the
was
best.
I remember my brother calling me and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Getting a pedicure, bro." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, like you're walking on clouds right now. This little Chinese lady is like my mistress now. I love her." It was like
I
the
love
first
it.
time I went with my girlfriend, I was like, you know what, I'll get a pedicure with you. And we go, and it was like the OG lady, like the one
Oh
that
yeah.
like bosses everybody around. She looked at me, she's like, "You sit." I was like, "Oh my God, okay." Like I
You know
was
it's about to get
scared,
real.
and I was like, I can't say that it hurts because she'll look at me like I'm a little girl or something. um, Miss Rodriguez, it was so cool to talk to you. Just like I told you off camera, you have my full respect and my full support. Um, Thank you for, you know, showing people it's okay to talk about stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's
thank you for
hard.
showing people that, man, if anything bad happened to you, that you can't be quiet about it. You need to seek help. You need to seek support. Just know that for every one idiot, there's like 30 people that love you. And
Yes.
I thank you for that conversation.
Yes.
As a dad to a little girl, I try to have as many conversations with her as possible. Even if I'm the awkward dad, you know, you got to get that across to these young ladies. And yeah, I thank you for your time. I appreciate that. I very much appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Where can they
Absolutely.
find you on social media?
Okay, so I'm on here at La Reina Renegada. Just search Amber Rodriguez in the search bar because I'm not spelling that out. I'm on Twitter at Amber1Rodriguez, and I'm on Facebook with my fan page. It's under Amber Rodriguez. So
Awesome. If you're following Amber, click my name right there and follow me. If you're following me and you haven't followed her yet, click her name. It's right there and follow her. This is also going to be on YouTube. So, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. It's going to be this Friday. It's only a few days left. I
it's
haven't even
crazy,
packed.
right? Like, where did this
I
week
don't
go?
even know. It's crazy. My girlfriend's going to pack. I'm not good at packing. She's the one
I
that
just,
packs
yeah.
more clothes anyway. I mean, you're just taking what? A change of clothes in your gear? I mean,
No, I pretty much pack my closet when so I
oh
like
wow.
options. I like
Yeah, you
options.
sound just like her. You sound just like her. I was like, it's only like one night. And I was like, why do you have 4 outfits? It's so one night. I was like,
But
I
you know
get it.
what the
Maybe
worst
breakfast.
is? You know what the
What's
worst
that?
is the worst thing is when you get there and you see your opponent has on the same colors as you or something like that. So you gotta bring, you know, more, you gotta be prepared. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to go out looking like a tag team and you're supposed to be fighting each other. That's crazy.
Before I let you go, do you ever get held up at the airport if you carry the belt in your bag?
No, that hasn't happened to me
Oh, really?
yet. Mm-mm,
I
I
remember
haven't
reading.
gotten on a
I
plane with it
remember
yet.
I saw an article of Alexa Bliss saying that that's like the worst part about traveling. If she travels with the belt, people are like, "Hey, what's this? Hey, let's take a picture." And she's like, "Can I just get to my flight? Like, I just want to get to my flight." It's gonna be this Friday, and I can't believe it's this Friday, December 11th. It's Mission
Yeah.
Pro Wrestling. Run it back. You got 3 championships on the line, including this champion right here. That it's a non-title match, but it's another champion. A 4th champion will be there, Miss Amber Rodriguez. You're going against Genocide. I'm not going to go there because I like you both. I can't. I'm an unbiased sponsor. I'm an unbiased sponsor.
Genocide, Genocide did not tell you how to properly cook a steak, okay? I'm just gonna say that.
Fair, fair. That steak was damn good. That was a good steak. Off camera, Amber was giving me some tips on the steak, and we had a great dinner before we started this live. Um, so amazing! All tickets are sold out, and I'm sorry if you didn't get a ticket, but you can watch a stream on Title Match Network live December 11th. It's going to be in Buda, Texas, at Pinball's Kingdom. CDC guidelines and precautions will be taken. Temperatures will be taken
Yes.
at the door. Please, guys, wear your masks. Medium well. Oh, Ryan, I'm a medium guy. Miss Rodriguez
Medium
is
rare.
medium.
Well,
I know you're medium.
I don't eat steak anymore, but when I
Right.
did,
When you did, you were medium rare. I was medium. You do sirloins. I'm a ribeye guy. I love a
ribeye
good ribeye. Ribeye is with the little pieces of fat. Oh God.
or porterhouse if I'm feeling extra fancy.
That's right. We got to get the bouginess. You got to.
Oh
You
yeah, you
ever
know.
get the braids and scratch it like this, like this?
Oh yeah, this is this
Oh,
is Brazilian hair, you know.
it's
So yeah, I
beautiful.
gotta. Thank you.
Do you go to sleep like this as soon as you get your hair done so you don't mess it up?
Oh no, I just have her fix it the next day.
Nice, fair. Um, as I said, CDC guidelines and precautions will be taken. Temperatures will be taken at the door. Everybody, please wear your masks. Social distancing will be enforced. It's Mission Pro Wrestling leading the charge for women in wrestling today. It's going to be an amazing night, an amazing show, and I cannot wait for it to happen. I will see everybody tomorrow for another live. My schedule's so crazy. I got another live tomorrow, getting ready for Mission Pro Wrestling. Everybody, have a great night, and please take care of yourselves.